Welcome to the session regarding the research methodology in the field of biological science and medical science. So in this session, we'll try to find out the framing of topic, looking into the need and looking into the time frame, how one student can frame a topic on the biological or medical science. In the present time, all of us can see there are a lot of impact of this climate on this biodiversity, and all of us can see the rapid increase of the cases in the case of COVID-19, this pandemic, the way it is spreading throughout the Europe and US developed countries, slowly, steadily among so many developing countries. It seems it needs a lot of research in terms of the kind of climate that is supporting the spreading, the kind of food intake, the kind of different kind of medicines, the different provisions that can reduce the severity of such problem, and the kind of treatment one should follow. It may not cure, but at least it can stop or it can better of the situation. So this is altogether a new problem, and in this case, in this new problem, there are so many things to explore, so many things are unknown, and so many things are not clear. So like this, in the case of research, we need to understand a research gap or the research problem. There may be several researches being carried out in the field of child care or the child habits, the child illness, the child lifestyle, and the positive and negative impact on their health condition. So to understand all these health issue, the psychological issues and all, the biological science also we can see the impact of the surroundings on the pulse, heartbeat, the blood flow. So in the present context, we can see there are a lot of lifestyle diseases, and lifestyle diseases are also increasing rapidly also. So one can do a research connecting the different form of lifestyle in terms of sleeping habits, working habits, food habits, exercise, not doing exercise, the outside junk food eating, or relaxation or recreation, and their impact on the personal and the family health. So even we can see the increasing pollutions and the impact on the increasing temperature and the impact of those in the physical body. But how the physical biological research are different from the mechanical or the scientific this research in the field of physics. So in the case field of physics, the researches are done on the matter, or even in the chemistry, they are all relating to the non-living matter, and those researches, the outcomes are most of the time deterministic in nature, and if keeping all condition constant, we can expect or we can predict also the result with all accuracy to many extent. But in the case of biological science, it is a living being, and when there is a living, so it is having two part. So when we go to the higher level of living animals, we found there are two things. It's not just biology, there is also a part called psychology. So we are finding a lot of researches are being done in the field of psychology and medical science. The person in the same condition, a few people get affected, a few people do not get affected. So it's biologically all of them are maybe equally same, but psychologically the toughness of the mind many time also start influencing the defense mechanism and also start influencing the secretion of the different chemicals in the body in fighting the different diseases also. So these are many new area where people want to have a study to understand the impact of the meditation in the human life in relieving diseases, in developing mental balances, in changing the lifestyle, and also increasing the immunity of the body. So the best way to find out a topic, to go through several research paper, research area, go through and check which area is yet to be explored and people have not touched those area. Maybe you may be finding so many medical researches is being conducted in the developed country in their different living condition, weather, and lifestyle. Now you want to do the same study with the Indian condition, with the developing country, you may find the whole system of diet, the defense mechanism, the child nurturing, or the weather system is altogether different. So just implementing or extending those research in Indian context may not be sufficient or correct looking into the need. So nowadays many new area is emerging in the field of managing the medical treatment system. So if you look into in the field of management, they want to develop a service quality of the medical system or the treatment system in term of the Ratter scale. So reliability, assurance, tangibility, empathy, and responsiveness. So in the field of management, to measure the service quality offered by the medical practitioner, the first term they want to check the reliability. How well, how accurately the person who is treating is having the knowledge of that disease or the knowledge of that whole process, the treatment process. How knowledgeable that person is. If he is reliable, if his knowledge is in depth, and if he is accurate in his decision, then we'll see that the doctor is reliable or the medicines, the equipment, whatever they are using, how reliable they are. The doctor may be good, but the instruments or the process. So reliability is measured in so many different dimensions to measure the, but that reliability is not everything. So in the case of services or services provided by these service institutions, it is being observed the assurance plays a major role. Assurance in terms of the behavior of the personal dealing with the patients. How sweet, how confident a patient on you, how this how good you are in keeping the patient mentally calm and confident. So developing a patience in the patient and with your sweet behavior and the proper response, you develop a different mode of confidence. You may be reliable. A doctor may be very reliable, knowledgeable, but if his behavior is not as per the expectation of the patient, then that service quality is not correct. Being a doctor, if I say bluntly, if you want to survive, you have to spend money, otherwise you die. So doctor is good, but doctor is blunt, is not sympathetic. Next, tangibility. You are good in behavior, you are good in knowledge, but the ambience, the equipment that are in and around, or the cleanliness, or the uniform dresses wore by the all your service provider, look into that. If the patient is not developing confidence, okay, this is having, this hospital having all outdated thing, and the hospital is not clean, and there is no properly, they are not properly dressed, then because of this small thing also you cannot win the confidence of your patient. Your quality of services will not be accepted. So in spite of this, all these best of the best equipment, good infrastructure, reliable doctor with a good behavior and all, if one lacks empathy, because the medical science is such a science where one need to have a good amount of empathy while dealing with, they need to be sensitive. There are poor, there are old aged, there are disabled, there are having patients with the chronic diseases. Some of them need very prompt action, some of them are very impatient. And if you do not have empathy, dealing with such a variety, in the case of service, medical services, it become difficult. Then responsiveness. You operated a patient, you did all sorts of treatment. But when it comes to the responding to a patient after treatment, so after surgery, patient is feeling some sort of acute pain, some sort of difficulty, and he want to contact you, and you are not accessible. And he is, if you are not accessible, someone else should be there to respond to his problem and to feel patience in his life. So responsiveness is just like you gave a telecom connectivity, and before getting telecom connectivity, the person came and got the connectivity, but after connectivity, there are maybe so many problems, but this customer care center people are not listening to you. Technical person are not lifting phone. Or in the case of LIC, you did a LIC, you want some changes, the people are not responding once they took the premium. So like this, there are a good amount of scope to apply the principle or the methods of management in the field of medical science, and there is a good amount of scope to apply the psychological research in the medical science. There is a good amount of scope to understand the modern days evolving this lifestyle diseases, climatic impact in the field of medical science. And there are so many unprecedented event has happened in term of SARS, swine flu, then so many animal related diseases, now COVID. So during such kind of situation, when there are scarcity of food, there are scarcity of resources. Within that, how a person can protect self and how the things are happening in and around the world in terms of the statistics. So while choosing a topic, one should understand also whether they are accessible to the data, the statistical data or not, whether they are accessible to the information on which they want to do the research. Otherwise, you may think a very ideal topic, a very tough topic, but you are not allowed to interact with such kind of patient, or you are not allowed to observe such kind of patient, then whole your research plan will be in problem. So better before you choose a topic, go through the literature first step, find out the research gaps that has been there, contact your faculty guide. They can guide you enough regarding how you can, what kind of research you should do, qualitative, quantitative, what kind of research approach should be there. You contact your company's guide or the place where you want to do your research, their seniors or the company mentors. They can also, because they do have their own, they have already identified a lot of problems or the gaps, and they want to develop research on that. So you can contact them and seeing the literature, the company guide, your area of interest, your faculty mentors, then you come to a conclusion what kind of research topic you should follow so that you can do a justice within the stipulated time period. Now, research topics should not be too much broad. So let me give an example. I want to do a research on impact of COVID and the failure of the medical in US. So it is a very ideal topic, but it is in US. To what extent I will able to get the data, and whether it is entire US or a particular city of US among the particular age group or particular gender, that I have to specify. So I want to check, suppose during this time in India, why some of the state could able to protect themselves from this pandemic, how they could able to minimize their cases. I want to do a research. So then I can focus the prevention and protection taken by the state of Jharkhand to safeguard their citizens from the COVID. So I want to explore. So here you need to explore on the basis of a region within a time frame for a particular group. Suppose I want to do food. What kind of food can help a group of people who are in the lockdown? So particularly I want to find out the people in the northern part of India, those who are vegetarian during lockdown, what kind of food they should take so that they can able to manage within the scarcity. At the same time, they can also ensure the minimum proteins or vitamins in the body. So in this case, either you choose non-vegetarian or vegetarian or a region such as Delhi. So then you can do extensive research, the availability of the foods and the looking into and also the economic group. So then I should write down my research, the food intake, optimum food intake to be taken by the delights during this coronavirus problem among the age group of